Hello, and good day to everyone. Welcome to this special edition. We are here doing a stream to talk about wVTRU and launching it on our decks. So, welcome everybody. It's been a long couple of days for me working on getting this ready. And Mike is going to join me shortly on the stream. He's running a little behind. He's driving back from somewhere, so he'll join shortly. What I'd like to do is spend a few minutes before we just get right into the actual wVTRU part to give you some orientation around what's going on in our ecosystem and give you some context. So what I'd like to do is uh, let's see, share my screen here, add it to the stage. There we go. And this is wVTRU Scope, as many of you know. And what I'm going to do here is first and foremost go into the screen that I absolutely love, which is the staking screen for Vibe. And as you can see here, let's zoom in a little bit. We are doing incredibly well here. So there's over 4 million wVTRU staked, and we just have about 78.7K remaining. This is amazing because what it represents is innovation at its finest. We are now an L1 protocol where the community is going to own all the future revenue, right? So this is what this Vibe token represents. No other protocol has done it, and I'm pretty sure many new ones will start doing it because it's just the decentralized way. It's just the way to do things, and it'll be nice to for the world to know that wVTRU did it first. So this is going really well here. I see the numbers changing constantly. We're going to talk a little bit during the course of our session here about some of the wants and asks that people have about this. But I just wanted to point out here that because there's so many different smart contracts floating around and people have misinformation, etc., what I've started doing is created a smart contracts page here. And on this page, you're going to find all the officially linked smart contracts. So this will be a single source of truth. They're not all there yet, but you're going to be able to go to any one of these and click on them, and it's going to take you. So for example, we were talking about Vibe right now. You click on that, and it's going to take you to the Vibe token smart contract directly. So you don't need to guess. You don't need to go to other people's websites, etc. You can go to the source of truth here and be assured that you're interacting with the correct smart contract. All right, so that's that. And the next thing we want to talk about, obviously, is the wVTRU swap. So I'm gonna just start there by giving you a quick overview of the changes we have made, and also talk a little bit about that platform because there are some changes coming to it. They're not done yet. So let's go look at a wVTRU swap. So let me zoom that in a little bit. And Mike and I are going to go into copious detail about the actual wVTRU and all of that. So hold on for that. Now, what I want to point out to you is some of the changes we've made here in wVTRU swap. Now, this is a pancake swap fork. It's version 2.0. So what we've done here is we've added a link for you to wrap and unwrap wVTRU. So we'll be talking about that. We have a link to the bridge, and then we also have links for staking for both API and for Vibe, and of course Scope. So let's just answer some of the questions that I see repeatedly in terms of the staking for APY. I think the one issue that people have is those who have finished their 60-day stake, they need to unstake, and we need to get a button there for you. So we'll get that done. Meanwhile, you can go to the contract and hit unstake, and it should do that for you. Next action will be on Scope. On that contracts page I just showed you, put the official sort of contract link there, so you'll be able to easily go and do that. Give me one moment here. Mike's messaging me, so let's see if yep, he's just about to join, so that's great. Yeah, so we're going to go through all this today. We're going to actually run transactions and all of that kind of stuff. But I want to talk in general terms about the DEX, right? So this is a pancake swap version 2.0 implementation. And what we really want to do is just go to the latest version. But the timeline, the amount of effort and the cost of it was prohibitive for us to do right now. So we're going to stick with this. But as time permits and as resources permit, we are going to upgrade and go to the latest version. So you'll have all the cool features that they have. And as is typical with DEXs, uh, you don't just upgrade in place. What you do is you leave the existing one running with like a V1 or something moniker, and then what you do is you run the new version at its primary thing. So just know that this is V2. We know it's got a lot of features missing that the new versions have, and we want to get that to you as soon as possible. Right. So that's one thing about the swap the DEX. And now what I want to do is kind of head on over a little bit to the wrapping function, right? So and then we'll come right back to the DEX, etc. So if you go to the wrap here, I'm gonna actually already have it open here. So this is the new wrap application. It's brand new. It sort of is forked. When I say forked, it's the code has been forked from the USDC app I released a few weeks, well, probably a month ago now, and was modified. I'm very, very grateful to our dear friends at Neon Circus that took on this. They even put some cool artwork in the background. So and that's custom artwork done by Neon designer. So I love it. It's just awesome. So a few things to note about this. The purpose of this wrap application is singular. It's just to wrap and unwrap wVTRU. And the purpose of wrapping and unwrapping wVTRU is also singular. It is to trade it. Right now in our ecosystem, we currently don't have many use cases for wrap wVTRU, but I'm sure we will. Essentially, the concept of wrap wVTRU exists in order to use on DEX and on SEX. So as we sort of start diving into our decentralized exchange here today, and then in the near future, as you're going to hear, into centralized exchanges, this is going to play a very important role. Now, there are a couple of obsolete contracts out there that do say wrap wVTRU. What you should do is you should go to scope and look at this contract here. That's the official one. Anything else that you find is obsolete, and you should probably not be tinkering with it. If you do tinker with it, just know that it is they are not supported in any way. They have no administrative capability, and so any wVTRU you wrap there is available for you to unwrap. We are not going to take those offline. We can't really. They have no administrative capability. So my suggestion to you would be that if you have any wVTRU sitting in those contracts, kindly unwrap it and bring it back, because otherwise it's pointless having it there. All right. So we're going to talk a lot about sort of how this plays into the DEX, etc. But what I want to draw your attention here, which you can start reviewing, I'll talk about it later once Mike comes. But there is a link here that says circuit breaker constraints. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up, if you open it up in a new window, into this spreadsheet here. So in the spreadsheet here, as I've mentioned in the prior downloads, what we're going to do is have a circuit breaker in the wrapping unwrapping contract, and we've implemented exactly that in order to sort of do a little bit of dampening, if you will, of the DEX activity. So the way this works is pretty straightforward. It only works for wrapping. It doesn't work for unwrapping. Unwrapping is unconstrained, but unwrapping, what it does is it looks at the current price on the DEX, and based upon that, it makes some constraints. So those constraints are at two levels. There are an aggregate level, and there are an individual level, right? So the aggregate level constraint works on the basis of an epoch being 1 day. So it's actually 17,280 blocks is what it is. And so the way it works is, and you can probably fathom this right by looking at the data, is that as the price would go down, then the number of transactions or wrap transactions that it supports in a in one epoch go down, and as the price goes up, they go up, right? So that is the overarching, if you will, control point in terms of the number of transactions for wrap. Now, keep in mind that the DEX has no constraints whatsoever. The DEX is just Pancake Swap 2, and it has not been modified other than the colors and things like that. It pretty much is exactly out of the box Pancake Swap 2. So yeah, so we have this first column here around limiting around there, and I see Mike has just joined us. So let me bring him to the stage. I'll finish talking about this spreadsheet, and then we'll go talk a little bit more. Hello, Mike. Welcome. How are you?
Hey guys, good. How's it going?
Good, good. Great to see you. I'm just talking through our circuit breaker constraints here a little bit, and
Okay.
I waited on talking about anything related to the DEX, etc., for you to join us. All
Okay.
right. So the next column here is what's called an individual period limit, and what that means is that each wallet has its own limit also. So this is essentially a cool down feature, if you will. So the way this works is that when you initiate a wrap transaction on the contract, you are limited by the number of coins you can wrap. And again, it follows the price. It's all tied on the price. The higher the price, the more you are able to wrap, and the lower the price, the fewer coins you're able to wrap. Now, the key thing here is that in addition to the wVTRU, the coin limitation, there is also an individual duration limitation. What that means is, let's say that you go and wrap right this moment, and let's say the price is 250. Here we go. So your constraint, your coin constraint, let me just highlight that row there. Your coin constraint is 1,250, all right? And your time, your cooldown constraint is 6,912 blocks. What that means is that you cannot do another wrap transaction for that many blocks. And this last column here, I just kind of converted that to hours for you because I know most people don't think in terms of blocks, which is completely, and if you do, wow, that's amazing. I don't know how you do that, but yeah. So with these sort of constraints in place, they act as circuit breakers, and they help us sort of create a steady stream on the activity around the DEX coin. So we'll come back to this. We'll talk about this in a little more detail. But Mike, let's talk a little bit about the wrap wVTRU coin and what our vision is for it, and how we are seeing how we want to approach it. But I did want to share with you also, since you might have missed it, is that the Vibe numbers are looking really great. We are at over 4 million staked and 78,000 quota remaining. So it's that's out of 350,000. So to you, Mike.
Okay, great. Yeah, so our vision for today's launch is really kind of a soft launch. Obviously, we're trying to launch wrap wVTRU in the best light possible, where this is not really a chance for the community to try to strive for ROI or just trying to dump on each other. Really, we're trying to preserve and really test the coin, get ready for sex listing, and that's really where we want to kind of go after ROI. So today's launch is really just about testing the system, playing with the wrap function, and we recommend, or at least I recommend personally, what you guys try to do is sell $5, buy $10. Just preserve the price, keep it as stable as you can. And many of us have done price projections, and we're really excited to go to launch and to get on a sex. But I think the real way that we're going to set the blockchain up for success is really to protect the community and try not to dump on each other, try not to pay for your vortex or pay for your boosters or anything like that. That's really not the time to do that. It's really a time just to test it out and really support and protect the liquidity that we do have. We're obviously just injecting a very small amount of liquidity, and that's by design. Most of you kind of know that really this is community. The community is the one that's really supported the project, and the community is also the one that's supplied the liquidity that we have right now. So in order to really continue the momentum that we have going into not just 30 days, but 60 days, 90 days, all the way to year end, just kind of have that model. If you really don't need the money, just play with it. Put in, take out again $5, put in $10. Just use that as a benchmark. Really support the chain, and that'll set us up really for sex listing and really to build liquidity. We've got a lot of things that are going to be coming this week that we're really excited about. The Friday's download is going to be awesome. There's so much that we're going to go through in terms of our updated roadmap and all the things that are coming. But have fun tonight. Just play with it. Enjoy it. But that's kind of really just what I wanted to stress is don't dump on each other. Just have some fun. Get used to it, play with it a little bit, and we've got a lot of really cool features that we're going to be announcing this week. So yeah, that's all I wanted to kind of go over.
Cool. Well, so I like to build upon that. It's been a journey. It's been a long journey, a year-long journey, and we are here now. The most repetitive question was when launch, right? So that word launch is so ambiguous, right? What is it referring to? We have so many applications at this point. We've got the protocol, etc. But I think this is one thing that people really wanted: a free trading kind of a coin that was listed, and so people could allow the market forces to go from there. Now, it's no secret that our community is kind of composed of a lot of folks who are very bullish on the vision we have created. We've created a very, very big vision, and we've really, as you can see just from the past couple of weeks, that vision is finally taking root. You've seen the creators come in. You're seeing everything come together. So with this soft launch, what we want to do is get to that one milestone, and that's an important milestone not just for the community. It is an important milestone for the centralized exchanges we've been talking to. They basically want us to demonstrate traction and show what we can do in terms of the DAX, etc., as a precursor to launching. And we do intend to launch on multiple exchanges. So what I want to do here today is kind of walk through the actual steps of how you would go through and wrap and unwrap and all of that, and also how you would actually trade on there. If you are trying to trade right now, it will not work because the contract is currently paused, and I'll keep it paused until I've had a chance to kind of show you how it works, and then it'll be open, and you'll be able to do as you wish. So let's go right back to the wrap unwrap, because that's where the journey begins. Is there anything else you want to add, Mike, before I go into sort of the demo on this?
No, let's dive in. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so let's go to our wrap unwrap, and it's pretty basic, straightforward. You can convert from wrap wVTRU to wrap wVTRU and back. And just keep in mind that we've got these circuit breaker constraints in there, right? So let's first go ahead and connect a wallet. So I'll do that. And I'll just connect this one. Okay, here we go. All right, and this has a small amount of, let's see, does this have a wVTRU balance in it? It should. All right, here we go. Wait, let me just hit reload here. It hasn't picked, there you go, it picked it up now. Okay, so I'm gonna go from wVTRU to wrapped wVTRU, and let's do that. Now, one of the constraints is the minimum amount that you are able to wrap. So that is 99. So I'm going to just go one over that and go to 100, and go ahead and select wrap. Now, this may or may not work. I'm pretty sure I gave myself permission to be able to do this demo, but let's find out. Also, I want to keep Explorer open here so we can see the transactions as they come in. So let's zoom in a bit here on this. There we go. All right, so it's ready to go. All right, we hit wrap, and looks like I do have permissions, and I can hit confirm. And my current balance of wrapped withdrew just went up, as you saw. It went from 50 to 150, and there we go. We have a transaction here where we essentially did the wrap feature. Now, if you try it right now, it's going to fail. It's not yet activated. But having done that, now it's pretty easy for me to come to the swap, and then it's business as usual. So here you can pick your wrap withdrew as the first of the pair, and then USDC as the second, and you can put in the quantity you want, and you can see here that this is currently up to 2.53. Yeah, all right, there we go. So you click on swap, and it asks you to confirm, and you select the dialog as usual, and there we go. The transaction's been submitted, and it will work. So this is obviously everyone's been using the DEX, so it's pretty straightforward. But the wrap part is the part I wanted to make sure that you understand. Now, I think it's really important that you take a good look at the circuit breaker constraints, because as I mentioned, one of the things we are trying to do is ensure that this ecosystem can thrive. As Mike said, right? This soft launch here is a way for us to demonstrate the potential to the centralized exchanges of what's there, et cetera. And so this is not sort of an opportunity for people to dump on each other, et cetera. Demonstrate, you can both provide liquidity, and you can also sell. It is free trading at this point. Now, the only thing I've left to do is to enable the contract, and then you can get going. So let's do that. All right, give me 1 second, and we can do that. Mike, do you have anything to add? I'm sure we'll see a bunch of transactions here as this comes on. So let's do that, and we'll wait for my transaction to go through. There we go. So I just unpaused the contract. Now, let's see what other. So at this point, you can go and unwrap. Now, I do know that there's going to be a huge surge of traffic there, so you might get some errors from our RPC node. We have it load balanced it, but even then, we are there. We go. I see a bunch of transactions come in there. They're going.
Yeah, so the goal is going to be to, we've got a pending application with DEX tools, and so we're going to be following up on that this week so that we can get listed. And did you want to get into CLS or anything like that, Nick, or do you want to save that for Friday or cover that another time?
So we'll partner with different organizations to work to make sure that our DEX is very successful. So yeah, we'll continue to do that. Looks like a lot of transactions going through here. I can see them coming fast and furious. Yeah, so let's actually check on the balance of that contract and see what's been wrapped. Remember, wrapping is the only thing subject to the circuit breaker constraints. Unwrapping is free and available anytime. So it looks like we got a little over 120,000 withdrew that have already been wrapped in there, and that's gonna keep going. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much the presentation we want to do. Of course, there's going to be a lot of questions, so we'll sit and we'll definitely address those. Mike, you had some overarching questions from the community about the APR staking, etc. I think we should address those first, and then go
Sure.
from there.
Yeah, so we've definitely do with the we do have roughly 80,000 leftover vibes. So there was a lot of questions on what we can do with the APR staking. Nick and I are still, we reviewed some of that today, and we do have room to do some of that allocation. So that's the good news. We're still fine tuning the actual stake units to see what's going to be the right mix. We have kind of a ballpark on what we're going to be doing, but we're going to see if we can finalize that in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then we'll have an announcement come, on that and how that's going to work. Because we had questions on whether or not, okay, is this mandatory? Is this optional? Is it all or nothing, meaning you have to move 100%, or can we do partial where we leave 50% in APR and 50% over? We're really trying to keep it as simple as possible. So it is going to be optional, and it is going to most likely be all or nothing. So either move it, leave it in APR staking 100%, or move it out. Nick and I are still kind of addressing that because there's a lot of coding that has to go into making this thing happen. So it's not just a quick fix, where we can just do whatever we want. We really want to kind of simplify it so that we can keep the momentum this week. Yeah, but we should have an announcement on that probably in like 24 to 48 hours, like I said. Definitely by Friday for Friday's download. Yeah, but the supply looks like it's fine. We do want to save some of that supply. I think there's going to be a little left over. I think there's 2 million right now in the staking airdrop contract. So I think we might get anywhere from 50 to 75% moved over to Vibe. Obviously, Vibe is a limited supply. It's kind of a one-time offer. So if you find value in that and you want to capitalize on rev share and ROI through rev share, that's going to be a great option for you. If you want to trade, an ROI through price action, once we get it to sex listing, that's awesome too. But we'll probably have more information on that, like I said, definitely by Friday. And so don't worry, you're not going to miss anything. We'll definitely give you a heads up on that.
Yeah, I see that we're having some technical issues here with Explorer. We'll get those resolved as quickly as possible here within the next few minutes. But that should, it's just a surge. I mean, there's just too many users trying to use it at the same time. So we'll get it settled and dial back a little bit, and it should be all okay. With regard to the APR, I do want to just echo what Mike was saying there. It's we can do it, but it's non-trivial. It's a non-trivial development exercise to take to essentially make that work. And so if we do that, it's going to mean we are unable to do something else, right? Like when you have development resources that are finite, you can only apply them to certain things at a time. So yeah. So let me go ahead and address this technical issue that's cropped up. We'll resolve that shortly. But guys, I mean, the important thing here is this is a journey. We are going to continue to enhance the DEX. We're going to make it so you can have information about when your next a sort of wrap is available, what your current what the current aggregate is, etc. So we're going to put up all those stats. That way, you can make informed decisions about when you're going to go to the swap application and swap, unswap, etc. And as we said earlier, we're going to be very mindful of the liquidity because it's important for us that this project thrives. And so we'll be mindful of the liquidity and kind of manage it as we go along, because we do want the coin to eventually be listed on multiple sexes. And so it's important for us to kind of manage the price along the way. So the way I like to think of it is that, the coin is a one and done kind of thing if you sell it, but really staking and revenue share is the long-term way to do it. This project has always had a long view. We are not thinking of this as a quick, we are done. We are trying to build something that has huge is solving huge problems and has a huge market to address and can sustain and grow over time. So if you're of the mindset that this is a quick kind of like a quick, this is only an app or something like that, you'd be very wrong about that. We are building a very big ecosystem with lots of different applications and lots of different communities, and we're touching many different areas of the creator ecosystem. And so I expect that this is the rev share component is going to be very, very, very valuable over time. So yeah, as Mike was saying, we are putting together a whole bunch of ideas, roadmap, more details about all of this, etc. For Friday. The next thing that's coming up very quickly, was trying to get it done tonight, but ran out of time, is the VUSD. The VUSD rollout that's on deck now, and expect to see those tokens start hitting your wallet, so that you can start collecting some of the artworks that's there. One of the things we want to do with VUSD is also put up a page where you can essentially swap VUSD with your wVTRU or USDC. So either one. So because right now the only VUSD that would be held is by people who got boosters, but we want to expand the scope of that. So if you are holding wVTRU, then you'll be able to swap it for VUSD. And now that we've got the decks up, that's actually one of the things we are waiting on, is we have a live price connection and conversion on there. So when you go, you can know exactly how many VUSD you're going to get based upon the price conversion that exists live on the decks. And this goes also to all our other applications, is we'll start anchoring them to the price on the decks, which is why it's important for us to manage that and nurture it and grow it over time. And that's exactly what we are going to do. So I want to take questions, but it's also important for us to get this issue resolved. So Mike, do you want to look through some of the questions, the comments real quick?
Yeah. So
And,
a lot of
Wes,
people have
while I
been
take a
saying,
look at
oh,
this.
that the dApp's not working. Obviously this could be, a couple of reasons. There could be a technical glitch, or it could just be the circuit breakers kicked in and supply is
It's our RPC node. It just
okay.
I can see here already there. So I just have to make sure that we get those going again, and
Yeah.
everything should be back in business.
I do want to say this though. We mentioned on the, I had a number of conversations with a few key community members. And I kind of threw it out there. We kind of had an idea. Normal traditional token and coin launches, the way they traditionally work is you do a pre-sale at a discounted price, and then later on you launch at a much higher price. And the idea is to build your liquidity and buy in at pre-sale, get it for a great price, and then just sit and hold. And then, selling at a higher price, everybody dumps, it finds its floor, and then it just trading as normal. That's kind of normal. We're a little bit different in that we're not going to market. Most of our coins were accumulated, previously. So we've got this heavy, sell pressure on the existing, coin. So we already knew that going in. Nick and I toyed with the idea of changing the launch price and coming in and possibly forcing a marketing basically a sell-off price where, hey, let's just launch it at 80 cents and that way it's not attractive for people, and then we can just put buy pressure on it. And we toyed with a lot of different ideas. We polled some of the community members. But the one thing that we really wanted to stick to, what we originally marketed, which was the $2.50 price, and let's just control the supply, let people play with it, and then once it gets to a certain price, like let's say 60 cents or 50 cents, that's kind of what we thought today would go. Is it's just going to go from 250 to 50 cents because there's no real buy pressure. Nobody's going to be buying the coin at $2.50. I mean, we could have done that through OTC or through airdrop. So we fully anticipated that the price is going to go to around that mark. But what that does is create a buying opportunity for a lot of the whales and those people, not to put in like $10,000 or anything like that. Don't do that. But definitely throw in $100 or throw in, because you're going to be dollar cost averaging. You're going to be accumulating wVTRU at a much cheaper price. We do believe that the coin will stabilize, especially once we launch marketing in the next 2 weeks, as well as uh, figuring out the sex listing. So obviously we're going to create a budget, a roadmap for this week. We don't expect that it's going to be too long, but we want it to be done right. That's the biggest thing for us. But marketing, we're building a complete marketing plan right now. We do want to, the reason why we didn't just dump all kinds of liquidity is that's just going to get distributed among the community, and then we have no treasuries. So we're not going to do that. That's not a successful launch, in my opinion, if you drain the liquidity. So we just wanted to get it operational, work out the bugs, get everything worked out, get the search up to speed, focus on onboarding with artists, fix the creative credit issue, and launch VUSD, get that all sorted. And then once we have a search really dialed in, then go to market. And then see if we can get some market share from our competitors. We are doing a competitor analysis to further understand our value proposition moving into the market. Once we are on the sex listing, we've got really aggressive marketing plans that are planned. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be discussing that a little bit more on Friday. And yeah, but it definitely, if you have the money and you want to pick up some cheap wVTRU, whether somebody dumps or not, it doesn't really matter to us. You have the opportunity to accumulate, some bag at a discounted price while it's low. So that's definitely an opportunity there.
Yeah, services are back. It's under heavy load. But here you see all these red boxes. That's basically the circuit breaker. That's people trying to wrap when they can't do that, because they might already have one transaction, and the cool down period has not yet reached. Right. So we're going to see that. And as you were saying, you're right. We fully expect that people are going to continue to take wrap and dump here for those folks who don't believe in the vision. But luckily for us, I think a vast majority of people do, and we are very grateful for that support, because the results are coming in, and they're coming in very well. We are seeing a lot of traction, especially in the artist community. And the concept of sustainable passive income is something that artists have never had, and we are giving them that opportunity now. So if you're a creator and you've got a wVTRU, I'd encourage you to go and pick up some of the last vibe that are still sitting out there, and grab that. So once we are done with the initial probably 1 or 2 hours of heavy load here, things will stabilize and all the systems will be okay. Until then, it's kind of like with every product launch, right? There's so many people hitting at the same time, so things are going to need to be reset. So we'll do that. All right. So what we can do now is let's see. There's a ton of questions here. In fact, so many. They're scrolling by so fast. Mike, do you see any questions that kind of jump out at you?
Are wVTRU holders who are staked earning DEX fees off the launch? That was from Just Watching.
Yeah, so there's a 0.05% fee that is being accumulated. Now, currently it's going to a contract. We haven't provided the mechanics yet to be able to distribute that. So that will happen, but they're sitting in the contract right now where they go. In fact, if you go and study the contracts, and you can actually see that movement of funds with every DEX transaction.
Yeah. Some people are asking about the charts and where they can track price and all of that. That's coming. Obviously, it doesn't make sense to just go immediately onto DEX Screener or DEX Tools or Sex Listing when we have such heavy sell pressure. So The biggest thing is to, complete the decks, work out the kinks, test it out with the community, have a chance to play with it, and then we'll get everything listed on Dex Tools and Dex Screener coming up in the next week or two.
Yeah. Also, I just have you know that it is quite an the bar to get listed with one of those folks is pretty high if you're a chain, because it requires them to do an integration and actually start supporting your chain directly. If it's a token, it's a piece of cake. It's like an afternoon with they click a few buttons and you're there. But when it's a new chain, every single time that any service we go to, that people go, oh, why don't you just go do X? Well, you have to remember that if it's a new chain, it requires integration. It means that their systems have to connect with our RPC nodes, and really, it's almost like a new project every single time. So yeah, I see those comments also in the Discord. Yeah, it's so easy to get listed, etc. But it's not. When you're a protocol, the bar is much higher. So yeah.
Nick, do you want to show them? I just don't have access to it. Do you want to show them if they want to purchase, how they can do that?
Purchase.
If they want to, wrap their wVTRU, acquire some more wrap wVTRU at a cheaper price, through the DEX with the USDC pull.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. What you do is you would basically select your initial one as USDC. Let me connect first here. And yeah, so I have a balance of $51 here. Okay. And then if you want to pick up wrap wVTRU here, so I would say, let's say I put a buck or $10. And yeah, so the price is obviously dropping. So here, if I put in $10, I can pick up a 14. So what's it? It's that means it's at $1.45, $1.45 right now. So it's going to ask me to essentially, yeah, it's moving quite fast there. It has a price impact of 5%. Please confirm. Okay, so let me go ahead and refresh here and tell it to get some new prices. There we go. It's updated now. Go ahead and swap. Say okay. And confirm. And that's it. So yeah. So I just picked up some wrap wVTRU into my account. And so the other direction is where some of the circuit breaker rules come into play. But on the DEX here, like I said, the DEX is completely unrestricted. You can do as you wish on there. So yeah, wow, I'm seeing so many questions here. I want to unwrap my wVTRU now, but I guess the unwrap isn't active yet. Yeah, it's totally active. You can go in either direction. Just click on the arrow here, and you can go in whichever direction you want to go. So you want to make the source direction, where you're going from, be the box on top, and where you want to go to, the box on the bottom. And that's it. It works bidirectionally. So everything about the wrap wVTRU contract is active. Everything about the swap is active. And if you're having any problems, it's more than likely related to a wallet, a connection, etc. Or in this case, right now, with the surge we have in traffic. So it'll settle down a little bit, and then everything will be back to normal. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, we have a question. I don't know if you want to cover this today or next Friday, but I think it's easy to answer.
Yeah.
Motivation asks, this is a question for an artist friend. How do we onboard whole artists from OpenSea? Because OpenSea does not support artists like the Truvio. So that's more of that, maybe a transporter issue or.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? I apologize.
Yeah. How do we onboard whole artists from OpenSea? Because OpenSea does not support the artists like we do.
Yeah, so it's not. So what the artists have is works that are sort of minted over there, and what I already have seen is a lot of artists burn their work there on Ethereum and are consigning it over here. So I expect that trend to continue. what we want to do with Transporter is make it easy for them to bridge those NFTs over. Now, bridging is it is a solution, but it is a solution that is kind of uh, it's not elegant. Let's just put it that way, because what you've done is you've essentially locked an NFT on Ethereum. It still exists there, and you have resurrected it here on wVTRU. So we'll provide a mechanism to do that. But I would encourage artists that if you really, want a clean solution, then you should. It would be best if you would burn the NFT on Ethereum. But you also have to look at, is it on a platform that does lazy minting? If it's lazy minting, then the artwork isn't even in the blockchain or anything like that. And in that case, you can just delete it and you're set. You don't have to do much. So a transporter will come and will provide you the ability to do bulk transfers, but keep in mind it's still a less than elegant solution, because those minted NFTs will stick around forever on Ethereum, forever. Yeah, right. And it's maybe you want it, maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when let's see. So yeah, as creators, those of you who are selling right now, I've made this point again and again in spaces, on X posts, etc. It's going to be extremely volatile right now and for the coming few weeks. And your options are, you can get into that volatility, or better options are either get in on the vibe action or get in on APR staking. I think those are better options for you, because they represent long-term income versus the short-term volatility, where you are not you're fighting the market there right now, where there's, as you mentioned, huge sell pressure, right? So until that sell pressure diminishes, it's going to be complicated. I see problems. People saying I can't swap as little as one. Yeah, so the minimum is 99. So you're not going to be able to wrap anything that is under 99 wVTRU. You can go trade any amount you want, but the wrapping function is on 99. Gino says, "Why Nick sounds a little low? You're doing great, Nick." It's just guys. I don't think people who are not software developers realize what we've pulled off here in a matter of, I don't know, 24 to 30 hours. It's been nonstop. Smart contract application. We've put together some major platform here in very little time, and yeah, I'm surprised my brain can keep up with the context switching between so many contracts at this point, and keep it going. So it's just I've been up working on this since 2 a.m. my time, and it is now 9 p.m. my time, and so yeah, it's just a long day. That's all.
Yeah. Did you want to go over that? Did you want to go over on that press release? And do a screen share on that? Were you planning on to reveal that today, or did you want to?
Sure. Yeah. No. So that's so we've got a Medium article up there, and we can if you go to wVTRUchain.medium.com, you'll find it there, and I can also put the link in the chat here, so it's available. But you can read all about our vision and where we are going with the Dex launch, and some of the highlights on there. So yeah. So there's a lot coming up again. Like, so we got VUSD, then we've got the download, and then we pick up where we left off with Vortex. That is huge. I'll just go ahead and announce that we've been talking to the Neon Circus team about how to do some tight integration there also, and they're very supportive of that. So we're excited to collaborate with them, because they're a bunch of gamers, and so I'd love to collaborate with them on Vortex World, which is we have a very big vision for it. So guys, I mean, we have achieved a milestone here. We have the coin listed on our decentralized exchange. Now it's up to us as a community to make that coin thrive, and it's going to thrive as we do all these things together. Like we've got the whole creator suite, we've got the whole PFP applications, etc. We've got Vortex World. We've got all those things. We've got the apps, etc. So now, as we branch out and we get more people into the ecosystem, that's organically going to result in activity there, positive activity, and we want that because when we go to the SEX, we want to demonstrate that we've had a successful run on the DEX. That's what we are looking for. So just remember one thing: if you are holding Vibe, right, the best thing you can do is encourage activity on our chain. So remember, you make money whenever the protocol makes money. So especially if you're a creator, right, you're used to only making money when you sell your artwork. But now if you hold Vibe, you make money when anyone's artwork sells, right? So that's pretty amazing. So you need to think like a business owner, because that's what Vibe does. It makes you an owner of this protocol, and a very tangible. Now, if you have coins, of course, you if you think of coins as like equity, etc. But revenue share is a totally different kind of way to have sustainable income over time. That's kind of what we're going for. So really, really excited. Um, yeah. Yeah, so we'll be repeating some of this on Friday. Hopefully, the dust has settled a little bit. By then, I think we're gonna have a lot of activity here in the next a few hours, and that's fine. We fully expected that, and I'll probably reset a few systems multiple times. So we'll keep an eye on them and make sure that they're okay. But right now, the focus is on making sure that the coin thrives, and immediately next is look in your wallet for VUSD, and we are strategizing about how exactly to tackle the issue of APR and all of that kind of stuff on here. So our RPC servers apparently are under heavy load, so I can see that here. We'll have to probably do some resets there also, but we'll take care of it. All right. But Mike, any other closing remarks?
No, it's going to be a busy week. If you do have any like pending issues, go ahead and DM me or the mods, and we'll try to get a solution for you. I think most of the past issues have been resolved. I will have another weekly update for you guys in terms of Q&As. It's been a few days since I've done a post, but I'll get as many of those out to keep you guys posted and minor updates. So I'll try to get that out tomorrow. But we are working on the budget this week. We're working on marketing this week. We're working on a new org chart for wVTRU this week. A lot of moving parts that are happening. We're going to work out the APR staking this week, and the BUSD is coming. Creator restrictions, we're working on that to remove those so that we can kind of open up the funnel. Transponder, we are definitely working on that. It's going to take a little bit more time though. So that's going to be, look for an update on that. What am I missing, Nick?
Yeah, when we start
Vortex,
preparing,
Vortex, we've got some really crazy plans
Yeah.
for that. I'm so excited with what we're going to be doing with Vortex. Some of the meetings that we've been having, we've got some really, really cool features that are going to be unleashed. The 75,000 outstanding NFTs, we've got a game plan for those and tying those to Vibe. The features, the assets, being able to purchase those with wVTRU, our native coin, is going to be amazing. And the development of the whole Vortex world is something that's really exciting. We're definitely talking about the gamification aspect, how everything is going to work. So that's all in development, and we should have some updates on that in just a little bit.
Yep. So I see a bunch of people saying can't wrap. Well, that's the circuit breaker in action, guys. I think I showed you here.
The app's not broken, guys.
There
It's not.
is there is an aggregate limit per epoch per 24 hours. So depending on what the price was, there's a good chance with this activity that that limit has been reached. The circuit breaker
Mhm.
has tripped. And so that means you cannot wrap. You would have to wait for the circuit breaker to reset, and then you can do it again. So I'll make it a priority to put those numbers up on the right on the wrap page, etc., like with a countdown kind of showing you how much time is left, how many blocks are left. But it's almost a guarantee at this point that the circuit breaker tripped because of all the activity. And so now we have to that was the whole point of it, right? Is to level the activity over time. And so now the cooldown limits come into play, both individual and aggregate. And once those cooldown limits are complete, then you can go at it again, and cycle repeats. That's how it is, right?
Yeah.
So I love Rob's joke here. So it's a wrap. Yes, it is a wrap. The circuit breaker's doing its job. Its job is to level off the activity, and it's going to keep doing that over time. So in the next few days and weeks, you will see how the circuit breaker has a leveling effect, and actually is good for the ecosystem because it keeps the price um, at a good level,
Mhm.
because wrapping is the only way where you can get tokens to sell. And when the circuit breaker is stripped, you can't do that, and as a result, the market has a chance to correct, and then back again to the cycle. All right, so I think that's it. We did an hour here. That was the intent. Back to work. We got a lot to do. If there are any systems that are down, we'll make sure that they're up again in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And next up is VUSD. We also got a roadmap we are working on, as we mentioned earlier. But we'll see you again on Friday, and we'll have a lot of information to share. But right
Mhm.
now, I'm going to take a sip of chai, and then wish you all a good day, good night, wherever you are, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, guys.